What is the dealio? In this video, I'm going to be talking about what do you want to ask yourself and consider before you're entering into a trade. All right. So this is going to be a good one. So be sure to watch this whole video. Also, like this video for me, subscribe to the channel because I'm bringing you valuable information about trading and money and mindset every single day. All right. So let's get into it. In this video, um, I want to talk about how or what do you need to think about before you enter in a trade. This will stop you from making a lot of mistakes. It'll stop you from making a lot of mistakes. It'll stop you from losing a lot of money, right? It'll stop you from a lot of anguish, a lot of anxiety, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start with the ones I feel like are like very, very, very important. All of them are important though, right? But some that are extremely important. First one is what is my trade strategy setup, right? What strategy am I even trading, right? That's the first thing. What is the strategy and the setup that I'm trading? If it's not a clear strategy, then what that's going to do is it's going to let you know that this isn't a real setup. You want to actually know what you're trading and why you're trading it. All right. That's the first thing. Don't just get in trades just because. Next thing, second thing, is this a day trade? Is this a scalp? Or is this a swing trade? All right. This is going to dictate a lot of things about your actual trade, right? When I was in beginning, I would start something as a scalp, right? A couple minutes. Then it would become a day trade, which is longer. And then it would end up becoming a swing trade. And then I would lose money on it, right? Or my contract was so decayed. So I've learned that you need to know what the trade is before you take the trade. If you say this is a scalp trade and you only plan on being in it for a couple minutes, then you need to honor that. If you say that this is a day trade and I plan on being in it for a couple hours to the rest of the day, then you need to live and die by that, unless it hits your stop loss or you want to take profit early. If it's a swing trade, then you want it to be your actual swing trade. You need to give a swing time to develop, right? But don't say it's a swing trade and then you get scared and then you get out. Don't say it's a scalp and then it ends up becoming a swing trade. This is going to kill your account. I promise you, right? Because the strategy that you're trading is going to dictate how it should like finalize, right? On a scalp, you're going to have a tighter stop loss. You're going to be a lot more focused on the charts like right now in the moment, right? So you want to know what kind of trade you're actually doing. The next one, which is extremely important, is what are my levels? All right. What's my support? What's my resistance? If you don't know what the levels are, you about to lose. I promise you, you will lose. You may get lucky one time here, one time over there, but you're going to lose. I promise you, you will lose. So you want to ask yourself, what are my levels? If you don't know what the support and the resistance is, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to be very frustrated, all right? So that is another thing you want to ask yourself. Another very important thing is how much am I willing to lose, right? This goes back to the video I talked about being able to accept your losses. If you're wrong, you have to admit you're wrong. So before you get in a trade, most people are only thinking about how much do they want to make, all right? You want to ask yourself, how much am I willing to lose based on what my risk is? Is it going to be 10%? Is it going to be 5%? Right? What is my stop loss? How much am I willing to lose? If I don't know how much I'm willing to lose, I am more likely to stay in a trade that is going bad. Right? You want to know what a good trade looks like. If you are down 30% and you just got into play, might be a bad play. If you are down 30% and it's been 25 minutes and you said it was only supposed to be a scalp, which is a couple minutes, you are in the wrong play, my friend. All right? So you want to ask yourself that. So first, what's the strategy in the setup? Is this a scalp, a day trade, or a swing? How much am I willing to lose? What's my stop loss? And what are my levels? What's my support and resistance? What am I trading based off of? All right. These four things right here are super important. Super important. All right. The next thing is, what's my profit target? Right. I base my profit target off of obviously where I got it, where I'm getting in at, but also is it a measured move or am I just looking for 5 to 10% and I know I could get that out of this move, right? Out of this stock. So let me show you an example, right? Let's look at these charts real quick. So profit targets, right? Let's say this is Uber. We made some money on Uber today. So these are my levels, right? I have my levels charted out. So I knew my levels on this stock. So if I was to get in on this trade, so when we traded it, we waited for the pullback. It ran up. We waited for a pullback, and then we got in like right here, and then we wrote it up to right here. Okay, so my profit target, this move didn't do what I wanted it to do. So it was like a 10% trade, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do. But my profit target was at $80 after it broke above this level right here at 78.26. So that's my profit target, right? But when I saw that it was rejecting on this second candle, it rejected again, then I just ended up getting out, right? So my profit target was here, but I was able to adjust right here, right? So I knew what was going on, right? And then as you can see, it came down and then it like a little bowl and then it went back up, right? Let's go to another stock. Let's say I want to trade Meta. Okay. Let's say, okay, so this is resistance right here. So it never clearly broke above, it broke above resistance right here, but this was a fake out. All right, so it came down here, but this is a support level right here, right? So if I'm playing a reversal, right? If I'm playing a reversal, let's say it rejects off of this level right here, my profit target would be like the 9 EMA, right? On the 5 or on the 15 time frame, right? Because it came down to the EMA right here. All right. So you want to know what your profit target is. That's very important. So if I'm playing a reversal, then my profit target is going to be the 9 EMA. If it doesn't reach that and I see it rejecting, then I'm going to get out, right? If I see it at the 9 EMA and it breaks through, I'm going to stay in. Okay? So, and if you have like 20 contracts, you could trim some and then let them run. It just depends. But those are my profit targets. If I'm on a bull flag, then I'm going to measure the move out and then I'm going to create what my profit target is from there. All right. So you want to know your profit target and you want to have it down. So that way you're being measured with your profits. This is all stuff I learned the hard way. And I have one good friend that has, taught me this, and everything else has been self-taught. So yeah. So the next thing that I've learned what to ask yourself is that you want to ask yourself is, what time frame am I trading on? All right, let me show you something. So this 15-minute time frame looks completely different than the 5-minute time frame, right? You get what I'm saying? So if we look at the 5-minute time frame, it could fake you out, right? Because this looks like it closed here and it opened here and then it came down here, right? But if you look at the 15-minute time frame, that candle isn't there. It's just a bigger wick, which means that it wasn't going up, right? So that is like a fake out. And so you want to know what time frame that you're actually trading on. And also when you are, so let's look at Amazon, right? So I was looking at the charts earlier and I almost got into an Amazon call, right? On the 5-minute time frame. But then what I saw was I had looked on the 15-minute time frame and it wasn't going above here. So it was right here, right? I almost got in on the 5-minute time frame, right? Because it looked like it was going up. But then when I clicked on the 15-minute, the 200 EMA was right here, which means that I want to wait until it comes above here to get in and let it go up, right? So that's what I mean about the time frames. You want to make sure that you're on the right time frame, and there's confluence in your time frame so that you're not getting in thinking it's going to go up and then it gets rejected and you don't know why. All right. The next thing you want to ask yourself and consider is where is the stock at in relevance to the EMAs and the VWAP. All right. If your stock is overextended and it's far away from the EMAs, let's say it just had a run up, then there's a high likelihood that it's going to try to come back down to come to the EMAs before it goes back up, right? If we look at all these stocks, they do the same thing, right? So let's go look at a couple different stocks, right? So Amazon came up, it blasted off, and look, it came back to the EMA, right? The EMAs are like a magnet, right? Look at a firm. It blasted off today, and then it came back down to the EMAs off of this rejection right here. Meta. It opened, it closed, it came down, and then it came back to the EMAs right here, right? Palantir. It came up, and then it came to test the EMAs, and now it's like slowly came to the EMAs and it's hovering around here, right? So, like, all stocks are doing the same thing. Tempest, it came down, came to the EMAs, went through it, went up, then it came back down, right? So all of these stocks, they do the same things, but the patterns confuse people. So you want to ask yourself, where's the stock at in relevance to the EMAs? And then that's going to tell you like what you need to do. And when I really started to understand this concept, it blew my mind and it changed my life. And it really made me a lot more profitable. The next thing that you want to ask yourself and consider is, what time of day is it? If I'm taking a trade I'm on the West Coast, right? So the market opens at 6:30 a.m. If it's 7 a.m., then I know that there's movement, there's volume, there's volatility. So I'm okay with that, right? Because I'm trying to get in and get out anyways. When it's like 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 9:50 a.m., 11 a.m., stocks are just kind of like chilling because everybody took off for lunch. So I'm not really going to try to make a trade at around 10 a.m. That's why I always try to be done before 9 a.m. because that's when most of the movement happens in that first 2 hours or the last hour. So you got to ask yourself, what time of day am I taking this trade? Because something could look like a good setup, but if it's 10 a.m., it may take 2 hours to get there. And if you got the wrong strike price, your contract can get decayed, and then you could lose money, right? So you want to ask yourself that. Also ask yourself, has the stock pulled back? If the stock has been blasting off, don't get in a call at the peak, because what it's going to do is it's going to pull back. You're going to get out, and then it's going to go back up, and you're going to be mad, right? If it goes down to the downside, don't just get in at the bottom of the downside to keep going down. You want to see if it bottoms out, if it comes up, and then it goes back down, or if it keeps going up, right? A lot of people get faked out every single day. So let me show you what I mean about this, right? So you got, it came down and then it came up, right? What if you see it right here and then you see this wick right here, right? And then you like, all right, I'm gonna get in the put right here because this just keep going down. And then look what happens. It reversed on you and now you lost a whole bunch of money, right? Look at the bear trap. Look at Meta. What if you get in on a put right here and then you think it's gonna keep going down, right? You wanna wait for a pullback to see if the stock is reversing or to see if it's just trying to test the EMA or a level and then come back down, right? I hope that makes sense. These are all things that I'm considering when I'm entering into trades, and it has made me a lot more efficient, like a lot better. I can't even describe how much better it's made me. Because you want to buy low and sell high. You don't want to buy high and sell low because you're not going to be profitable doing that. All right. The next thing you want to ask yourself is, am I comfortable with my risk? You don't want to get in trades and you're anxious, you're nervous, you're not comfortable with your risk. If you're not comfortable with your risk, you don't need to be taking a trade, right? So you need to be comfortable with the decision that you're making, because you have to answer to yourself when the result of that trade comes in, whether it's good or bad. All right. And the last thing you want to ask yourself is, am I at the beginning or the end of a trend? Or am I in the middle? Right? If you're in the middle of a trend, you need to have a tighter stop loss, because the stock could reverse, it could pull back and then go up, right? So you want to have a tight stop loss, or you want to have a lot of patience. If you're at the beginning of a trend, make sure you're in the right direction, or you can lose all your money. And if you're at the end of a trend, you need to make sure you're playing the reversal rather than the continuation of that direction. Because if you're at the end of a trend and you get in and it pulls back and it keeps going lower, you're going to lose your money even more. All right. So those are things that I want you to consider and think about before you even enter into a trade. Before you enter into a trade, I want you to think about those things, right? And I'm going to give you one bonus one. When I started planning out my trades and actually charting and saying, okay, if a stock does this tomorrow, I'm going to do this, and I have 2 to 3 stocks, that has made me more efficient as well. All right. So make sure you chart the night before and you map out everything. And then from there, you will be able to put yourself in a better position. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that helped. If it did, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to tune in tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. I am going to be going live, and we're going to be going live all week, doing like master classes. All right. So I'm going to talk to you guys later on today and tomorrow. Always remember, get out of your head and get into the world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.